If you took every animal from each continent and pit them against each other, which continent wins the fight? Humans are not included in this. I personally think North America has a pretty good there will be one of each animal. If there are duplicates across continents, both continents get one. Assume they are the apex of the species. Largest possible weight and in prime land-faring animals, including amphibians and aerial, are included. Ocean animals will not be included since determining continent ownership is a nightmare. Edit 2. There's a lot of discussion about land superiority, but who has air superiority? Edit 3. I have now switched to Team Africa, unfortunately, with Asia and Na giving a strong show just behind.
Assuming one animal of each kind, then Africa would be my pick for winner due to bigger defensive animals and more predators types.
Has to be Africa, right? They have hippos. Crocs don't even mess with hippos.
There's nothing on God's green earth that could step to a bull African elephant, not a hippo, not a crocodile, not a bear, nothing. Only venom would give anything a chance against an elephant, so that places highly venomous snakes high on the list, especially the inland taipan from Australia. Problem is, any venomous snake gets bodied by a mongoose, but mongooses get bodied by large predators, which in turn get bodied by elephants. It's like rock, paper, scissors.
Africa.
Maybe not so fun fact. People actually used to pit animals against each other in fights. You can read all about it on Google. They have documented wins, dates, etc. Even some betting amounts that were done: lions versus tigers, tigers versus bears, etc. They were very cruel. They'd often starve the animals to make them aggressive. These were one-on-ones though, and not many placed together. As far as I remember, a certain species of tiger won the most consistently. Grizzly bears actually managed to beat lions and several tigers though. Regarding your post and this information, I imagine a polar bear would be extremely deadly with that in mind.
This post is why I joined this sub.
Our mighty European United Animal Army would definitely be defeated by Zimbabwe alone. We would probably spearhead our attack with a fox and a rabbit.
North America. Grizzlies and polar bears are a solid core if motivated enough to do something. Moose, bison, and wolves are solid backup. Some large mammals who like to swim like seal and walrus as well. Even some nice stealth options like venomous snakes. Overall, a solid A tier. America. Big stuff is decent. A lot of very big snakes and of course llamas. They do have an interesting option of Amazon River dolphins. A lot of poisonous things is their main advantage. Calling them C tier because they tend to be outclassed so much at most things they do well. They're too reliant on constrictors landing their kills to be reliable, but when they do, look not as much of the big stuff, but they do have some particularly dangerous creatures like cassowary. Also a lot of venom, slotting them in at FB tier. But I don't think they quite crack a tier due to less brawly options other than the poster child of brawly animals. The Scandinavia has some larger critters who do almost all the work for this team. Mainland, yikes. You at least beat the frozen wasteland of penguin that I am not even assessing. So welcome to D tier folks. Congratulations on not getting F tier. Thank the Scandinavians for a lot of fun options because of the size of the continent and a lot of different biomes. You've got some bears, big cats, camels, and even elephants. However, the elephants are significantly smaller than a certain other continent that keeps them locked in a den. Keeping in mind that S tier is meant to be the one that absolutely breaks the even illusion of balance, we get to the S tier continent. Africa is this team. Big primates, big cats, nasty flightless birds. The one animal that the crocodile hunter was seemingly actually nervous around. Hippos isn't even their biggest brawly critter. They get the king of the land meta, African elephant. There's very little that can actually challenge this thing in a direct fight. At least Rome reduced them to only one species. Prior to that nerf, they probably could have taken all of Team Europe with just their 2 elephant species and suffer no losses in return.
I believe a huge tilting factor for Africa is the African elephant. Massive creatures, they can take most of the animals pitted against may take something venomous like a cobra or a taipan to bring it down. But no one is outclassing that one in a strength, a Siberian tiger. Asia's most fearsome animal. Be able to take an African elephant? Hard to say, but my money is on the elephant.
It would come down to Australia and Africa. I think Africa takes it. Most importantly, they have way more big cats. Hippos are basically tanks with giant teeth. Hyenas absolutely outclass dingoes at the same game. Kangaroos can box, but antelopes have horns. The venomous creatures, I think Australia has the advantage, but not by much. And while humans aren't in play, monkeys and apes are. That includes gorillas. Australia has no answer for a force of highly intelligent social creatures.
I was literally about to say, how seriously we're taking such a question. This seems a lot like smoking or drinking with the boys. Then I looked up and saw what sub I was in and I was like, oh okay.
Australia, I don't care what you throw at him. There will be some venomous abomination that can drop it before breakfast.
Not only does Africa have the biggest threats, they also have the best specialists in every category needed for an all-out continent versus continent war, or at least they draw even. The tank, hippos the general, elephants the engineer, chimps the bigger engineer, gorillas the suicide bomber, honey badgers the frontline wall, rhinos the cheetahs the cavalry, lions the ambusher, crocodiles the landmine, booby trap, cobras.
Australia. Venom greater than size.
North America does have bears though. Polar bear and Kodiak brown bear have the potential to put down the largest cats in Africa.
South America has hippos too, thanks to Pablo Escobar.
India also has hippos, which would mean Asia contends against Africa. A hippo's only real threat is other hippos. Or potentially large bears, but they've never been recorded fighting for obvious reasons.
Not sure a snake can bite through an elephant's skin.
Haven't these people seen the videos of elephants tossing hippos around? Agreed, it's no contest.
I don't understand how something can get so enormous just being out there eating leaves.
Standing 13 feet, 4 meters, tall and weighing 13,000 pounds, 6,000 kilograms. With a top speed of 25 miles per hour, let's not forget the 8-foot tusks, the 6-foot prehensile trunk, the skin that can be up to an inch thick, and the absolute rage of a territorial bull.
FR Africa is an IRL hardcore server. People forget that humans managed to wipe out most of the world's megafauna everywhere except Africa.
An important thing would also be where they are fighting though. I don't imagine a polar bear would do very well fighting in warm climates because it might just keel over from the heat.
I mean, Europe has the mighty sheep. Unbeatable. Very much agree with everything here. Europe does have walrus and polar bear. Ireland has the fearless D tier. A lot of people put too much stock in Australia, but their strength is very gimmicky. Gotta say B tier is the best place for them.
Oh I almost forgot about elephants. Even bigger intelligent social creatures.
Just landlocked and aerial. Ocean going is too hard to determine continent ownership.
Doesn't matter how venomous something is when there's a couple inches of skin that a snake or spider's fangs can't even win hands down. No. Yes, Asia has them, but way smaller. Hippos. The meanest and baddest sumbitch to walk this earth. Lions. Crocodiles. We don't count aquatic animals, I'm assuming. Africa is literally stomping everything, has venom and poison, but they aren't biting through. Literal has grizzlies, but they get stomped by hippos, and has tigers, and small has cute penguins.
Your comment is seriously underrated. The honey badger is bad and probably the toughest listed above.
Like a bunch of snakes are gonna survive against the rumbling. A row of elephants destroying everything in their path.
Venom-resistant animal greater than venom. I wouldn't go for large cats. I would go for the hippo, which is basically an overweight temperamental tank.
Bro, it is Africa. Hippos and chimps are straight machines. Then you have gorillas, elephants, rhinos, lions, Cape buffalo, cheetahs, hyenas, honey badgers, and Gustav the America gives a respectable showing. The grizzlies and polar bears maul a lot, but I don't think they can close the gap. Not to mention that Asia has smaller elephants and rhinos, plus all the think it goes. 1. Africa 2. Asia 3. North America 4. South America 5. Australia 6. Europe 7. Antarctica ETA. If we are talking water animals and amphibians only, then it goes to North America, no contest. Pretty much all the alligators. Some crocs, giant octopus, great whites, killer whales, polar bears.
No bear is taking down a elephant though.
HIPPOBOT 9000 version found a hippo. 132,967,990 comments searched. 2,903 hippos found. Your comment contains the word hippo.
Elephants and rhinos are both more powerful than hippos.
No way in apparently. A king cobra can deliver enough venom to an elephant in a few hours, if it bites the trunk, where the skin is thinner.
No, but now I'm going to YouTube.
Humans started on Africa and migrated out. In that way humans can be considered an invasive species, I guess. So it makes sense they pull the classic invasive species move and outcompete everyone.
Asterisk unbleedable.
You're missing one important factor. All of the Australian animals also have a drinking problem and nothing to live for.
But in this case there is only one.
Attack on elephant.
I am sure there would be a tiny spider or insect that has venom enough to 100 elephants just land on it and the elephant won't even notice.
This is the answer. Hippos are vegetarian and will still go out of their way to write your obituary if you so much as in their general direction too loudly.
Rhinos, hippos, elephants, I mean how can anywhere else compete lol?
You're forgetting baboons. Chimps might be dangerous, but baboons are cataclysmic.
Good bot.
Yeah, but rhinos are really dumb and have terrible sight.
There have been documented cases of snakes biting elephants.
I think part of the assumption would be that the animals have animal intelligence and are just very angry. If we imbue them with human intelligence it gets weird. Like, could a gorilla make spears and bows to hunt flying animals? An elephant might beat a bear in a one-on-one. But what if the bear used snake venom on its claws? What about specific counter-animal packs working together? But that aside, even large birds of prey don't attack large mammals outside of rare swooping attacks. That is because birds are very lightweight and use a ton of energy to fight and likely would survive the thousands or tens of thousands of swooping attacks needed to a large mammal.